What's going on, guys? Welcome in to Kurt Magoosh Sports here. Away from home right now, but had to throw up some videos today on Kurt Magoosh, and gonna gonna be posting these tonight because we had so much Oregon Ducks news today. So much ended up happening. Wilson Love is the strength and conditioning coach, but we're going to talk about Drew Mehringer right now. And Drew Mehringer went to Rice University, played quarterback at Rice University for a couple of years, but then Rice, they saw something in him in 2008, and then he became kind of a pseudo assistant coach for the final 2 years of his tenure at Rice. Because he was so successful at Rice at a very young age, he then went to Ames, to Iowa State. And then he even moved to Ohio State, where I believe he might have overlapped with Urban Meyer. I know he overlapped with Tressel or Urban Meyer at Ohio State. From 2012 to 2014, he was at Ohio State. So he experienced a championship. Then he went to James Madison. And now here's where it gets interesting. In 2006, he was hired as the offensive coordinator of Rutgers, where Chris Ash was the coach. He was not very successful in this role. In fact, you talk to Rutgers fans from the Northeast, and they say that Mehringer is not very good. Even more troubling was in 2019, he was named the Recruiter of the Year by 24/7. He brought in some unbelievable talent. But the problem is, I'll tell you all what the problem was, is that he ended up getting fired from his role, and the people at Texas, they did not really like Justin Mehringer. He was known to have fights with Tom Herman. The players, in fact, said that if Mehringer returns, they were going to throw a mutiny. So there's a lot of bad pub around Mehringer at the University of Texas. Then he went to Florida Atlantic, and then New Mexico. I know New Mexico has Danny Gonzalez. Danny Gonzalez is very much like an old school kind of my way or the highway type of coach, which, can make him entertaining in press conferences. But at the same time, it's Mehringer is definitely the most polarizing choice, I would say. Adrian Clem might be a polarizing choice because of the Jim Mora thing, and because at UCLA it didn't really work out all that well. But Mehringer does have some baggage or questions that he needs to answer about his tenure at Texas with Tom Herman, and if he disrespected Herman or if the players got along with him. So there were so many good tight end coaches available. The upside of Mehringer is that at 28, he was the youngest offensive coordinator in football. I'm sure that he's a very bright X's and O coach. He really can recruit at a high level. And if Tom Herman, if that thing was just a crap show at Texas, and if Dan Lanning believes in him, then it can end up working out. But I just view this as a big risk. You have such a great thing going. I love all the other hires that I'm going to point out today, which I'm going to do in other videos, like Wilson Love, and all these other hires, like the running backs coach from Western Kentucky that we'll get to later on. So let me know what you guys think about Mehringer. I'm sure we'll get some good insight from Texas people about Mehringer. And, this is so crucial, putting together a staff. And you don't want to have any bad apples in your coaching staff, because whoever you bring into your building needs to promote, making players better on and off the field. And winning is important, but obviously if you have somebody that doesn't get along with players, like some Texas fans are alluding to, it is troubling, considering too how special the staff looks to be. But Mehringer does bring an upside, like I talked about. His resume is phenomenal. At 28, he was the youngest offensive coordinator in football. And he's not going to be calling plays. He's just a tight ends coach, and he was the 2019 Recruiter of the Year. And he's been to Texas. He's been at Ohio State, so he's been to the top of the top. He knows what the elite programs look like. So there are pros and cons to this move. There are certainly pros, but there are certainly the cons illustrated that I mentioned about these places, and that he goes from FAU, he goes to New Mexico, how he cannot just stay in one stop more than 1 year. It's concerning. Does he wear out his welcome? Is he easy to work with? All these are questions we're going to find out.